Hal Steinbrenner. He said to Yes Network, it's difficult for most of us owners to be able to do the kind of things that they're doing, talking about the Dodgers. By the way, the Yankees are third overall in payroll at $303 million. They signed Max Fried, Paul Goldschmidt, Jonathan Loizaga. They traded for Cody Bellinger and Devin Williams. My first question for you, though, Brig, is George Steinbrenner rolling over in his grave?
Yeah, and we're all helping it. We're all down there. We're doing it in shifts at this point. We're like, okay, it's your turn, and I'm gonna go take a nap, and then we're rolling them over.
Yeah, I know.
He started it. He ran out of gas, and now we're helping him. Like, it's just absurd.
And so I wondered, the other thing that I wondered about this is like, is this just him blowing smoke, or is Hal Steinbrenner done spending big bucks? Does he not want to contend in payroll with the Dodgers and Mets anymore?
Here's what I think it is.
Because that's the Yankee way. That is the Yankee way, is to pay your players, pay your stars, and to win games by having a bunch of stars on your roster. That is what the Yankees have done as long as I've been alive.
Okay,
and then some.
That's not true. That's not true.
That is true, Brig.
No, it's not.
Okay, school me on it.
Listen, we did that until 2009.
That's true. Okay, you're right. After they won the World Series in 2009, then went away from it. Okay.
There have been a couple of years.
When did George Steinbrenner die?
I don't know off the top of my head.
July 13th, 2010. That's why it stopped.
Interesting. I was going to say there have been a couple of years since then where, we've had the right pieces. We've got, we've made the right moves. And I hate to keep banging on the trash can of 2017, but it's a great example. It just is, right? Everything was there. It was all set up. However, I think what it comes down to with Hal, and I'm not in those meetings, what do I know? But an outside looking in perspective is he is very happy to let the brand do what the brand does. He's also very happy getting some playoff money, putting butts in seats, an extra surge in merchandise and broadcast rights, etc. But you don't have to win the World Series. You don't even have to make it to the World Series to get a bunch of that cash. So Obviously the deeper you go, the more you get. But, you're going to get a slice of the pie. Get into the ALCS. You're going to get it in the ALDS. I just think, and I've grown very cynical. But I think that based on my perception, last year, he was happy as a camper. I don't think winning or losing the World Series, I don't think it bothered him one way or the other, honestly. And I think I think you're going to need to bleep my words in your brain that I'm not going to say on the show because we're a family-friendly show. But just imagine the string of expletives that I have funneling. Because it's just, dude, I'm not happy with Hal.
I wouldn't be either. So, you bring up an interesting point there, Brig. Because, let's play a game. Just how cheap is Hal Steinbrenner?
Oh boy.
So I just did a quick Google search.
Okay.
And looks like the teams themselves pay for the rings.
They do.
Because that's not the way it is in every league. Some leagues, the league will pay for it. So I'm curious, Brig. Does Hal Steinbrenner just want to bring in the money of making it to the World Series but not pay for the ring that comes with winning it?
He's like, that's too expensive.
I'm not shelling out that kind of money. I pay you guys how many millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Just put.
You want me to put together a team of designers for what? An extra team of? No, we're not going to commission somebody. Yeah, no. And
How
this
many
one
diamonds,
opens up
rubies, and
because that's what
emeralds?
we're doing now. This one, the face of it, like swivels open. That's dumb. That's what he's thinking. I gotta give him the clubbies.
Clubbies get the B ring. No, I bet clubbies get the A ring. It depends. They all
I'm
go
just
through
saying,
the ring rules. But
if he's
yeah,
cheap,
I don't know. It's weird coming from a Steinbrenner saying that like it's hard to pay. That like, yeah, I think your dad would have said otherwise. I think your dad would have gone the opposite direction, and been like, how much more money do we need to throw at guys to bring them here? How far above the competitive balance tax threshold do we need to go to put a winning team on this field? Because George Steinbrenner was maniacal about winning. Hal Steinbrenner has not been that.
Not even close. Not only that, but George, rest in peace, was involved. Like meetings with managers, like touring the clubhouse, like asking guys direct questions, like what happened? What the freak happened? So you take George the third, you take him, and you inject his presence into the clubhouse in that final game of the World Series in the Bronx last year. Okay? That is as R-rated a moment as you're ever going to find. Like that dude he would have been. You remember in Angels in the Outfield when Danny Glover's character goes in and dumps the table?
And flips the table. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the rated G. That's the Disney version, I think, of what it would have been like with George last year. I think he would have been, and he would have cleaned house if he needed to. Like, cleaned house. People have been like,
have a job if George was alive.
No, he'd be like, okay, all right, you're going to go home. And yeah, I owe you the money. I don't care. Get your bad attitude and your winning mindset. You can take it somewhere else. If that's the way you want to win, if that's your mindset, get out. You're worth more money to me on the street than you are involved in what's going on. And he would have said that to Cashman, potentially, Boone, potentially, anybody below that, strength and conditioning, development, whatever, doesn't matter. Nobody would have been safe. Nobody.
Right. Yeah.
Hal's like, I think we'll bring Boone back, and Cashman's doing a great job. And
the lack of that, I mean, that killer attitude, killer instinct, I guess you could say. That's what's been holding the Yankees back. Because the last time they won a World Series the year before he died, and I don't think it's a coincidence, but I will say this about George Steinbrenner, is that he had it in his heart to go visit the parents of a front office employee who he thought had passed away. Even when that parent railed him about trading Jay Buhner.
Right. Yeah. He knew...
But it turned out George was not dead, so George Costanza was not dead. So
no, he wasn't dead. Thank you.
Just
Baseball family, if you didn't get that reference, you're too young. If you did get that reference, sound off in the comments. That was fabulous.